Welcome to Stay Treat 2020 by You Define Wellness. I'm Rhonda Bolish-Lample and your host for today. And this session is a coaching session titled Energy Upgrades in Our Time, Sacred Changes with Richelle Kemper of Be Strong and Confident. So Rochelle Marie is a restoration master energy healer, and she specializes in living in and working with divine energy. As a channel of divine energy, Richelle works with the angelic realm, bringing energy, messages, and bits of magic to her work. Residing in Denver, Colorado, Richelle specializes in helping her clients open all available energy gateways so that they can energetically reach their highest potential. It is all yours, Richelle.
Well, thank you, Miss Rhonda. It's always so good to see you. Am I going to be able to pop in my PowerPoint? Maybe I need a bigger speaker view. There we go, share screen. Hey, I feel so fancy. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you, Miss Rhonda. That was a lovely introduction. I am so happy to be here. And I certainly had so much fun this morning in the chat room and doing the networking piece. That was super fun. And some of my favorite people to work with have been speakers today, all throughout the day. So I'm excited to be included in all of that. So today we talked just a little bit in my bio. I am in Denver, Colorado. I have a private practice in downtown Littleton, which is a little suburb of Denver. And I work in a kind of a group practice. I'm there full time at Discover Your Spiritual Gifts. And I work in the unicorn room, which we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some of the different energies that you can use. That's going to be in part of the middle of the presentation, but it's one of my favorite energies to use as we talk today about upgrading your energy levels. So let's get started. So some of this, especially in the beginning, these energy upgrades, like what is that? Part of that came from just how was I feeling last week? How were other people feeling? I've been trying to connect people through Zoom, about 3 people a day. Some people that I know really well, some people that are other practitioners in the practice that I'm in. There's 60 of us, so there's a lot of people to reach out to. Some of them have been family. And honestly, all I've been saying is, how are you? And then tapping in, like, how am I? And some people have been saying, like, I'm feeling a little out of sorts. Or my emotions are fluctuating, sometimes daily, sometimes hourly. I had a couple of people say, like, I'm depressed, but that's not normally my energy level. I'm just not a depressed kind of person. And then asking, like, is it just me? It's like, no, it's not just you. I can't seem to snap out of it. I felt that way last week. Wait, I'm better today. What did I do different? And we're going to talk about that a little bit too. If there's help out there, please tell me I don't have to do it on my own, which is part of this whole 3 days that we have gone through, right? And had the privilege of doing, that you don't have to do it on your own. There's been a lot of tips and tricks that have a practical application that have been shown to us. So I'm just going to be able to give you a few more. So when we talk about feeling out of sorts, and I'm going to go to the next one, but I like it when people tell me, or I ask, or just energetically feel them. Is that your energy that you're feeling? Is it energy from the people in your household? Is it the energy from the grocery store? and the people that are in there? Or is it a planetary energy? Is it energy coming to you that you're absorbing from what you're watching on TV or what you're seeing on Facebook or whatever the social media piece is? That is a lot of energy. Sometimes people don't realize how much they absorb. And so, or even what an empath is. Now, I know a lot of you are spiritual practitioners also and understand what an empath is, but an empath is somebody that feels and can steps into the other people's energy, or feeling the energy of the planet, or feeling the energy of the people in the grocery store. And it can feel, depending on what's going on, very heavy. Sometimes I feel it like an elephant sitting on my chest. That's how heavy it is. Or, this was kind of a funny story. I was in a movie theater one day with my husband watching this movie. There was 3 people up in front of us that had been drinking. It was a theater where you could go and have adult beverages. Well, they had too many before they got there, in addition to 3. We had waited to see this movie because we wanted kind of an empty theater so that we could hear better. And about 3/4 of the way through, after them talking and screaming to the people on the picture, it just boiled up outside of me, and I blurted out, "Shut up!" And I would never in a million years say anything like that. And it was a collective energy of everybody around me, and out it came. The same thing can happen. That's the energies that you may be taking on. That's just one little instance. But especially as the stuff that we're going through, I don't know about you, and you guys can chime in, but I am definitely feeling the shifting that's happening. And really, I was super excited about Saturday, 444, and that energy portal opening. I had been waiting for this time, me particularly in my the energy that I like to work in, waiting for that beautiful energy and the shift to happen. I was expecting a shift of elevation, of being able to, and knowing that we're getting out of so much denseness. So I was super excited for that day. And I did feel it. I did feel like, oh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna get out of this thick denseness that we are living in, and there's hope. There's a lot of hope. So, and then when I asked, like, do you feel the world is a little off some days? And I'm gonna bring this back to a kind of a daily practice that I do in the morning. And when I tap into what's going on with the world. So I like to anchor in and anchor into Gaia. So I feel it like connecting in through my root chakra at the base of the spine, and connecting all the way down into the crystalline core of Gaia, and connecting in that way. So we used to be connected to the magnetic core, very dense, very heavy, very masculine. And we have upgraded. Gaia has upgraded, and I feel it more like a big diamond that's in the middle of the earth, that beautiful energy that we can tap into. And so as I'm tapping into that, like, what is the pulse that's being sent out? And if I feel that things are a little off, that's really when I'm going to want to connect in. And this is how I do it. So from my root chakra, and every day you guys can do this. The root chakra, the color of red, right? And you want to I put on something like, I feel like a pigtail. And I wind it down around this way, goes all the way down into the middle of the earth. And at the middle of the earth, I have 4 golden nails and a golden hammer. And I'm going to connect into that crystalline core that I talked about, and I'm going to put in that 4 golden nails. And I'm going to solidify my energy into the beautiful core of Gaia. And as I start to travel back up, I'm going to write my name etherically on my cord, Richelle Marie Kemper. I'm going to put in the date, And if you don't remember what the date is for that day, no problem, just say today. I'm going to come back up to the root chakra. I'm going to put a little light switch on it, and I'm going to turn the little light switch on. And then I can start to pull that energy up. From there, I'm going to feel, so I want to go up also. I've gone down, I want to go up. As above, so below. When I'm checking into my energy, and sometimes I feel my energy over here on the left-hand side. And that, to me, is not alignment. I want it to come and be centered. So I'm going to pull that, it's almost like a physical pull back to center it off. And I'm going to do the same thing for my heart chakra, that beautiful green or pink some people feel. And I'm going to go up through the crown, do that pigtail again, and I'm going to rise up and I'm going to connect into the great central sun source. I'm going to take my 4 golden nails, I'm going to take my golden hammer, and once I feel like I've connected in, I'm going to anchor in my energy again. I'm going to anchor in my 4 golden nails. And then I'm going to travel my way back down, and I'm going to connect the two. So bring those 2 energies together, merge them at the heart center. And that is how I feel that I can align better to get through the day. So after that, so this is, I would love, I'm going to take you through this little exercise. So if you'd like to do it with me, it's something that I do in my practice when I'm actually working on somebody as they're laying on the massage table, balancing out your elements, the element of earth, water, air, and fire. And sometimes I do this one several times a day, depending on what's happening. So let's talk about earth. Earth is from your feet chakras, from your feet to your knees. Earth is how you manifest. Earth is where you plant your seeds. When I'm tapping in and I'm feeling what somebody's earth feels like, sometimes it's dry and crusty, doesn't have enough water, and you go, well, they're not going to be able to manifest the little seeds that they put in there if it's not, balanced in this beautiful soil. And so we'll go through, and I'll teach everybody that's on my table, like, what does theirs feel like, and what energies can they tap into in order to balance this for themselves. So one of the easiest ways is, so do you remember working with new soil? You're planting a new flower or something. It's that earth that you have the little white seeds in it, the little energy seeds. I don't know what you call this. Anyway, new earth. And then you run it back and forth over their earth energy. And I like to make sure it goes all the way down to the earth chakra. So about a foot below your feet. And that way you have all this beautiful new earth that's down there. And then before we've started, you want to think about, what do you want to manifest? Pop it into a little seed and pop it into your earth. And then you're going to wait for it to grow, because you've set the intention and you put it in your earth energy. And now that it's balanced. So that's earth. Some people really resonate with sand, like at the beach. Others, like at the lake, they really like having the tree energy around, and then having the water right there. So everybody's different, but the earth new soil is very easy to use. Water. So water is going to be from the top of your knees to the top of your hips. So anytime that you're feeling like, oh, my hips are just feeling a little cranky, could be your water. So water can be very stagnant, right? We haven't cleared out the water. Water is how you flow around obstacles. So if you have an obstacle that presents itself, and you feel like you've just run up against a dam, probably means that your water is stagnant. And so you want to clear that water out. Lots of different energies that you can use. If you feel like it's really stagnant, Niagara Falls is one of my favorite energies to work with. She is a powerful force and can just come right through and clear out that stagnant water, so that even though an obstacle happens, you can still flow around that obstacle. Something a little softer, maybe a beautiful rain, a waterfall. It's whatever it is that resonates with you that you can visualize to clear out your water to keep you in flow. So after that is air. So air is going to be top of your hips to your shoulders. And air is going to be your prana, your chi, all of that beautiful divine energy. And as humans, I know that a lot of people over the last couple of days have talked about different ways that you can breathe using breathing techniques. You can do that. But on this one, I love to visualize, because we don't breathe very well, in my opinion. I know I don't breathe very well, or those deep breaths. One of my favorites is to tap in and clear out their air through riding on their dragon or Pegasus. And so they'll go, oh, dragon, what is that? Do I have a dragon? Everybody has a dragon if they want to work with the dragon. But this is the feeling that I feel, is that you're riding on your dragon's back, and you're holding on, and your dragon takes off, and it's that, this is so amazing, that huge breath in of being able to ride on your dragon, right? And that is clearing out your air and being able to bring in more divine energy. The other thing I love about air is that when you're riding, some people have eagle, their power animal. When you're riding and you're looking through their eyes, right? I see them as like kaleidoscopes. And I tell people, visualize looking through their eyes so that you see a different perspective, right? If it's a kaleidoscope, you see multiple different ways to look at a situation. So that is air, one of my favorites. And then fire. Fire is top of the shoulders on up. And sometimes when I look at people, their fire's like this big. Well, fire is your spark, your creativity, and like how you're showing up in the world. So from here, you want your air to be this big, so that you can, as things present themselves, you get the downloads, right? You get all that creative juices to manifest what you want, that you've already put into earth, that you've cleared out your water in order to, make that fertilizer work. And then you brought in your divine energy from your air. So it's all building. So all this manifestation, now you want that creativity to make it possible. So some of my favorites, you can work with dragon energy again to help with the fire. I love Phoenix energy, that rebirth, right? And making their fire this much bigger. One of my favorites is, there's a lady that I love working with, and these little bracelets that I wear, she makes them, and they are energies that are done in Morse code. And this particular one, I nickname it Allie because the word is so big, but it's kind of like a phoenix. It looks like a phoenix bird, but it's blue, and its tail feathers are all rainbow. And Allie is the protector of the Milky Way. And so as things happen and that need to be cleared, Allie does this big sonic boom to clear out the energy. And then as the tail feathers come, and that's what reinfuses. And so I love using that energy too. And so then the fire here is more of a rainbow color. So lots of things that you can do using your imagination or using your divine guide team, like, what am I going to use today? It doesn't have to be the same thing all the time. So that is balancing your elements. Anybody have any questions? I am not opposed to using the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to yak for 45 minutes. Okay, so I don't even have my chat up, Brenda, just in case you see something, okay?
I'll watch.
Thank you, sweetie. So how do you start your day? And we're talking about upgrading energy, right? So I like to do 10 gratitudes. And we've had several people on that have talked about doing gratitudes. So they can be fairly quick, but as I'm lying there, right when I wake up, I like to do my 10 gratitudes. Really, my first one's going to be, thanks for letting me wake up again. I have so much I want to do, so much I want to accomplish. So that's going to be one of my 10. And then we talked a little bit earlier about grounding into the crystalline core of Gaia. So that was the pigtail into the crystalline core with your golden nails, and then going up and connecting into the great central sun. I also like to do a glass of water in the morning. And that, again, is clearing out that residual that we had at night through your water energy. And I like to do a little bit of detox with the lemon, but I really like, and I don't know about you guys, but going through like premenopause, I need my glass of water in the morning. And then I have crystals that sit next to my bed. And so 2 little crystals. This one's amethyst, and this one is sodalite. So my sodalite, I use my connection to the divine, to the angels, the archangels. And then my amethyst, I use as one of my protectors. So if you have a crystal that's sitting there and you can grab it, what is your intention for the day, right? What is in your primary ascension timeline, which we haven't talked about yet. I think it's in the next slide. But set your intention in your crystal, and then I don't know if we have any men. Men can put it in their pockets, but I love to wear mine in my bra. And I'll wear several based on, I'll put one intention in each crystal. And then, at the end of the night, you're taking off your clothes and they all fall to the floor. You go, oh, sorry. But you set your intentions with your crystals. And then I also, in the morning, we don't have baths in our home. We only have showers. But I still want to use that Epsom salt. I want to put it in my loofah, and I will do a nice little scrub in the shower. Get rid of that residual energy that's hanging out in your etheric field, so that you've set your intention to be nice and clear for the day. So I know I've got my next little slide here for calling in your energies, but I want to do one little quick piece. So once we've talked about balancing out your elements, I also like to do what I call calling in your primary ascension timeline. So we've all come here with a purpose, right? We've set out what we want to do in this lifetime. And all of you guys are absolutely so amazing that you all have big purposes. And we want to stay on that primary ascension timeline without the deviations. I mean, we can do small deviations, but we have a goal, right? We have a limited time to get that done. Not a panic time, but we want to stay on track. So calling in your primary ascension timeline. Remember when I talked about, sometimes I feel like my energy is over here and I want to shift it to the middle. That is my primary ascension timeline. My goal as a human in this lifetime is I want to love and reach out to as many people as possible. And when you get stuck in these darker energies, you can kind of pull into yourself. And that isn't being able to open your heart and stay on my primary ascension timeline. I remember in the movie Up, everybody has seen that movie, but all the squirrels, like, oh, squirrel, oh, squirrel. Those totally happen to us, and it's perfectly fine. But once you've kind of explored that, come back into the middle, into your primary ascension timeline. And I do that a couple of times a day to make sure that I'm on track. Same thing, if I feel like something's come up during the day that I don't feel like I flowed very well, I'll go back through and I'll balance out my water. So there is that piece. But let's talk about energies that you can call in, that you can use. So your power animals. When I tap into people, and you guys, I'm sure, have all had some kind of experience with a power animal. Maybe it is you've just asked, like, hey, who's my power animal? And a couple of days later, out of the corner of your eye, you see something on a magazine, or a rabbit runs by, something. My grandmother, first time she did it, she did a visualization to find hers. It was an ant. And she goes, wow, why did I get an ant? That seems so non-powerful. But it was super cool. And it was just so much about working as a colony and together and getting things done and being that matriarch. And it was super cool. So no power animals are not amazing to work with. So power animals, my very first one that I ever worked with was a lion. I call him Leo. That is also my sign. So that was super fun. But I feel my power animal, and I want you guys to do the same thing. Walking beside me as my best friend, right? That is somebody that I can always talk to. Maybe it was as you were a child, your power animal was there, part of your team that you actually saw and communicated with. Hopefully, you're still able to do that now. Or you can switch into that, right? I'm ready to work with my power animal again. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one. I've done guided meditations where there's been 10. And then just different energies depending on what's coming through in your life that you can pick and choose who you want to work with. You can't hurt their feelings, but if they show up, they want to work with you. And there are beautiful books out there. I think the gentleman's name is Gary Farmer, if you guys know that I'm saying that wrong, but he's got beautiful books on all the definitions of working with power animals and who comes up. The archangels. There are a lot of people are very familiar with working with their archangel and sometimes just work with one. When I am anchoring in divine light into your energy body, I'll ask, like, who's going to come through so that they know what energies that they can work with. Is it, and normally it's either an archangel or it's an ascended master. Sometimes it's the power animal. Because we've gone through and done all this clearing. Now we need to come back through and re-infuse. So with the archangels, sometimes people need protection, right? They just have a lot going on. And Archangel Michael is sometimes how we say it, is a fabulous one for that. And so if you wanted to set protection for yourself for the day, one of the easiest ways to do an energy upgrade so that you feel strong and confident is to use Archangel Michael. A cool way to do it is, he has his sword, his protector sword. I put a sword, an energetic sword in front of me, behind me, to my right, to my left, above, and below me. So you don't necessarily have to use the sword. You can use, when I first started learning, we were using roses. So if that resonates with you more, but it's an energy, right? It's a protective energy that you're placing around you. As a healer myself, and as you guys, I'm sure you loved working with Archangel Raphael and his beautiful, beautiful energy as the healing angel. Sometimes when we are pulling energies out that no longer serve, we'll use his beautiful gold balm. That's another color that I feel with him to fill all of that back in. And that's very healing also. Let's see. Archangel Jophiel has been coming in quite a bit, especially with the divine energies that are coming in, right? The divine Sophia, but that beautiful pink energy as we are ready to step into the divine feminine. Those are two beautiful, beautiful energies to step into that you might absolutely love. Your ascended masters are amazing to work with. Some people really, sometimes I forget to ask people where they are on their spiritual path. And I'll do this beautiful energy healing for them. And then I'm spending like 20 or 30 minutes telling them about everything that happened. And their eyes get like this big because they don't, I didn't ask whether they have a background or who it is that they resonate with. Sometimes they don't resonate with anybody yet, but that's why they're there. But those saying, working with their ascended masters, Yeshua, Jesus, Mary Magdalene is one of my new favorites that I love working with. Kuan Yin, Ganesh for people that have blocks. So you put in an energy ball, like, I would like to remove my block for prosperity, and call in Ganesh and hand it over, right? You're asking, please help me with this. You give it to Ganesh, and then behind that, I like to work with Lakshmi. So using the love after that, the love and the forgiveness for all of the energy that you've given away, like the love and the forgiveness and bathing in that. Those two are fabulous to work with. So those are just some examples of some fun energies that you can work with. Using your own guidance team, right? Oh, those are super cool because they're the ones that are always with you. That's your best friend. That is some of your ancestors, maybe that you've worked with in multiple lifetimes. Even my divine guidance team, Archangel Uriel is one of my favorites to work with. They say he has the ear of God. And so when I tap into like the Akashic records and I go through my little portal, Archangel Uriel is there waiting for me to help guide. And so when I work with these energies, and this is another little trick I'm going to give you, I like to actually step into that energy. I mean, literally have them stand in front of me, and then I step into it, and then I embody that energy. You can embody that for the Divine Sophia, whatever it is that you are going through in that moment, that day, that week, you can use that energy. So here's another little fun trick for you. Let's say you are going to do a presentation and feeling a bit nervous. You can call in an energy that you would like to work with. Let's say you're feeling like, I could feel a little attacked in this particular speech that I'm going to be giving because of the information I'm going to be sharing. I might send my Archangel Michael, ahead. And I'm going to visualize the door frame of where I'm going to be walking into. And so I'll send that ahead. Once I get to wherever I'm going to, when I walk through that door, I know that I've already stepped into the energy of protection, right? Or the energy of joy, or whatever it is that you're needing, send that into the doorway and step through it. When I channel, I'm an open channel and channel for the divine, then I like to sit in their lap in a chair, because I'm sitting anyway, but I especially Uriel, I like to just kind of sit in that energy. It's kind of fun. So your own guidance team, it is, they're always yakking at you. They're always trying to get your attention. And, there really are just so few people that can truly, truly hear. I mean, that is such a gift to actually hear, like with your ear, versus hearing the messages they're trying to give you through other channels, whether It's through the repetition of numbers, whether it's the feather that's on the ground, whether it's the penny, whether it's something that you recognize. Maybe it's your mom, something that was special to the two of you, and you see it and you go, oh, mom's energy is trying to tap in. So your own divine guidance team. And then working with the unicorns, the dragons, and the fairies. I'm going to start with the fairies first. So fairies is, I find like super fun in this time of coming up to Easter and being able to do stuff outside, and as everything is blooming and being able, that little flash of light that happens, that's your fairies. They love candy. And so you can do a little dish of a hard candy and put it out for them. You can do it in your home, but you can do it outside, and that's your little gift to them. So they can be a little mischievous sometimes, depending on who you're working with. When little things start to go missing, you go, oh, the fairies are playing with me again. But they are also here to help. But remember, you have to ask. All of these energies, we have free will, and they are always there to help us, but we have to ask. I'm also going to give you just a little tip. This is a little story about manifesting. You go to a restaurant, and your divine guidance team is your waiter. And you say, I would like to have a new Lamborghini. I know that's kind of big, but so the divine guidance team rushes off, goes to the kitchen, and said, she's ordered a Lamborghini. But then I come back and I go, no, wait. No, I need to think about the environment. I need an electric car. And then he goes, oh, okay, that sounds good. Run back, tell the kitchen. And they're going, whoa, wait, I started working on the Lamborghini. And they go, no, that's fine. We'll start working on the electric car. And then they come back, oh, no, wait, I need something for the family. And so this happens in our brain all the time, right? We're constantly either upgrading, changing our mind. And so our team is just going, whoa, I want to help you, but I'm having trouble tapping into exactly what you want. So the more that you can write something down, and last night was the pink supermoon, and tonight is still a very good night for upgrading your crystals or sending them out there and clearing them and upgrading with the full moon energy. Sorry, that was a side note. But also using, setting your intention by writing it out. And that way it's clear. Setting out your intention, putting it in your earth energy so that you can manifest it. That way you've written it. So hopefully that was a good little story. Dragon energy. It was a good reminder. Dragon energy, we had talked about, they're fabulous for protection. We had talked about Archangel Michael, but dragons, when I set my space, when you set your space, you can call in your dragons to hold the space for you in each of the four corners. So north, south, east, and west, they are happy to do that. I always want to thank anybody that has come in to work with me and to work with you. But dragon energy is fabulous for that. I talked about writing with your dragon and seeing different perspectives. Unicorn is another one that I love to have walking with me, right? I love to feel the unicorn. I love to feel the silky coat. I love feeling the rainbow energy that I feel with working with a unicorn. I was doing a channel at a Sasquatch convention last year, and the unicorn energy came through and gifted everybody that was there. It was in this big amphitheater. It was outdoors. It was so gorgeous, but gifted everybody with a unicorn horn, right? That beautiful energy, so that because their hearts were so pure, everybody that had been there, they were able to then use that energy, channel that unicorn energy to gift to others, right? That's why we're here. We're here to channel the energy and gift to make other people's lives richer. So unicorn energy is so fabulous to work with. Anybody else have another energy that they absolutely love? Good. Okay. I know I'm coming up to the end here a bit.
I'm a big Archangel Michael energy fan.
Awesome. Thanks, Miss Donna. Do you work with him every day?
Not every day, but a lot of days. I hear him in the head a lot. So he's actually my guide.
Donna, did you see the Netflix, it was Good Omens?
No, I don't have Netflix, so.
Archangel Michael came through as female.
Oh.
Which I thought was super interesting. Super interesting.
I've actually heard that a couple of times from different sources, but I had a friend of mine did an angel channeling, and in that angel channeling it said that my guide was actually Archangel Michael. So I was pretty excited about that, but yeah, really like his energy.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so you've tapped into your divine guidance system during the day, and you're just feeling like what's going on, and there is usually a reason why you've tapped into it again during the day. It's probably because it shifted for some reason and you want to bring it back. So just mentally think about bringing that back in to your primary ascension timeline. So resetting that. Sometimes you have to ground back in, right? Your grounding cord, either way, up to the great central sun or down to your the crystalline core, has come detached. And so just do it quick, ground back in, and you'll feel so much better to be able to pull that good earthy energy in to help manifest. And then tapping, we talked about this in the beginning, is whose energy is it that you're feeling? And asking, is it mine or is it somebody else's? And to really make sure when you're on your primary ascension timeline, you're going to be able to know so much better whether, is this mine? Right? And you go, oh yeah, that is my happy self. Versus this funky whatever this is that needs to go away. And you say, you need to go away, right? That isn't me. And clearing out. You can even do a brushing. You can call in any of those energies we just talked about and brush it out, right? Brush out in your etheric field and say, can't do that. So we made it through the day. We're at nighttime. And I want to do 10 more gratitudes. I want to say thank you for all of the energies that came through to work with me today. And thank you for the food that I got to eat today. So, and whatever you'd like to do. Brainstorming. Thank you. You've had lots of stuff that have come up through the day. And one of the new little tools that I've been using is taking one of those things that have happened and writing down 20 brainstorm ideas. Brainstorming is so much about being creative. I did one the other day, was just like, how do I get from my house to the airport? And all of the creative ways and how you're going to get there. I could take a rocket ship. I could burrow a hole. I can take an Uber. But once your brain starts thinking like, oh yeah, unlimited here, then that is a great thing to do at night. Brainstorm 20 things to something that's happened, and it doesn't have to be the exact answer. It's just telling your brain, be creative, fire energy. Take the Epsom salt bath or a shower again at night. Get rid of that residual energy. Maybe work with your favorite essential oil. So rose is going to be your highest frequency to use. Frankincense will be below that. And then, of course, really whatever your favorite is. I love using a citrus That's my favorite. But maybe an essential oil, thanking your divine guidance team, and then setting this is super fun, and I love doing this, setting your intention for tomorrow and using an angelic runner. So there are, if you think about using Archangel Michael, he has his legions of angels, right? Doesn't do it all himself. He can send a legion of angels. So an angelic runner, let's say I'm going to go on a flight tomorrow and I want to send protection energy out to the plane, right? I'm going to ask a runner to go and help me with that. So remember when we talked about doing the protection before, in front of me, behind me, to my right, left, above, and below? I'll do that for the plane and setting that up. I will send energy to the pilot. I will visualize and ask the runner to make the trip smooth. And that's what runners do. Maybe something as simple as, I need a good parking place. I'm going to send the runner ahead, ask the runner very politely, can you make this smooth and can you find me a parking place? So I know that one's kind of silly, but setting your intentions for smooth, and the runners will help you. And then setting your protection for sleeping peacefully at night. I love using the crystals, but something really easy. If you were to imagine a ball of light in between your hands, as you healers, all of us have can feel that energy, right? That little energy ball in between us, and set your intention, call in whoever you would like, and say, make this or increase this energy to the highest frequency that I can hold in my light body, and just wait and energetically feel it get big. And then as you're laying there, I want you to envision it going all around your body, and then envision it going around your bed. So the top of the bed, underneath your bed, in between the sheets, you're setting all this protection. And then say, please place maybe like a pyramid of protection over my house as I sleep tonight. And it just gives this beautiful inner calm sense as you sleep. Because you guys, I am sure, are doing just a whole bunch of stuff as you're sleeping in the astrals at night. So it's a nice little protection piece. And that, my friends, is what I have. Anybody like to share? Thank you, Miss Mary. Miss Denise.
I was just going to say, now I want to learn more about, I know basics, so now I want to learn more about elements, energies, crystals, and everything.
It's so fun.
So, anybody have any quick questions?
Comments?
No? Thank you, Richelle. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Richelle. This was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Really
thank
helpful.
you, Miss Dora.
Hi.
Nice sweetie. It's so nice to see you.
I know. It's so nice to be here. This is just wonderful. So thank you, Denise.
Well,
So
Thank you, everybody.
So it's great. So if you know Richelle, you know she owns Be Strong and Confident. She is also a provider in the You Define Wellness Network. And you can find her on the directory at youdefinewellness.com. And if you happen to own the Healthy Living Savings Card, Richelle offers a 20% discount on her 1-hour restorative energy healing session. And so those cards are only $49.50. They never expire, and you can get a lot of healthy living savings there that you can take advantage of. And they're available again on youdefinewellness.com. And so I